Been billed as a battle between Kenya's oldest political dynasties, with two rivals taking center stage, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Today, after months of intense campaigning and spurts of pre-election violence, Kenyans are going to the polls. They actually have been to the polls, and the results of the elections are slowly trickling in. Let's go over to Kenya and speak with Kevin Jabedo, who is with KTN. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Gifty.
Good.
How are you?
Bring us up to speed. What's the latest?
Okay, voting station closed at around 5 p.m. Kenyan time, East African time. And right now, the vote counting process is going on. Apart from a few stations that had not yet even opened for voting, we had around 21 polling stations that had not yet opened, but the electoral body, the IEBC, says that voting will go on in those stations. They had a few challenges. They had technical challenges as well as weather challenges, so that's why the ballot materials will not get to those polling stations on time. But largely we have been witnessing a peaceful and smooth election process. The balloting has been going on well.
Okay. So at this point, Kenyans are sitting at home and monitoring the results trickle in. Is that correct?
Yes. Right now, every local station in Kenya, the TV stations are all live. We are having periodic updates from the Bomas of Kenya. That is where the main tallying is going on. And every station is now streaming the results live. And the electoral body has given out a link where people can stream and watch as the results trickle in live, because these results are being electronically transmitted to the center.
An hour to the close of the voting process, about 21 polling stations, had not started. How did that work out? Have they started now, and how is it going to end?
30 minutes ago, the IEBC chairman, the chairman of the commission, came on and said that he was still working out ways in which these 21 polling stations could actually start the voting process. They had not yet started, but he said before midnight they will have started, so that they beat the constitutional deadline, which states that every election must start and end on the 8th day of the 8th month in Kenya.
So how are the 21 polling stations, if they started very late, how are they going to make up for the time lost and for the people who will be willing to vote?
According to the chairman, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, he says that once they start, for every hour that they are not yet open, they'll be compensated, which basically translates to this process carrying on until tomorrow, or possibly in the wee hours of the morning, so that it can compensate the hours they lost as they were waiting for the material to get over to them.
Let's look at the diaspora's voting, or Kenyans in the diaspora voting, as well as prisoners voting. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, for the first time, they've allowed diaspora voting as a trial to see if it goes on, and it goes on well and successfully, they can allow the larger diaspora to vote. For this time, they've only given out access to the larger East Africa, which comprises of Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. So in total, these three countries have 4,300 voters, and we saw voters in Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda go peacefully to vote at the Kenya High Commission in their respective countries. Right now, all three countries are going on with the vote counting process, and any minute now we expect results.
Has been, violence sometimes. We also know about it. Yesterday we spoke to you. You took us through the tribal tensions that, may characterize elections like this. Bring us up to speed on what authorities have done about the possibility of violence.
Yeah, actually, before the election process, there were real fears of violence. There was some heightened tension, but the security detail was very, very okay. They were alert, and apart from the morning incidences where a few polling stations were late in opening the process and starting the process, it has been largely peaceful. Now, for violence, it doesn't occur normally when people are voting. The ballot casting point, it doesn't occur at that point. It comes after the counting has been done or during the time the counting is being done. But the security detail is telling us that we should be calm, we should wait, because they think they have everything under control. So we are adopting a wait-and-see stance right now as the vote counting process is going on.
Let me before I let you go, tell us how Kenya is, how's the mood right now?
Actually, the mood is peaceful and expectant, if I can summarize it that way. People are peacefully waiting for the results, and really there is expectations on both sides of the divide. We have like half of the country supporting one candidate and another half of the country supporting the other. As they say, we don't have this thing called the undecided voters, because once you go to the polling station, you have to decide who you are going to vote for. So people are expecting either side of the two contestants. Yeah.
How soon is the entire process expected to come to a final end?
According to the IBC, this time they've decided that they'll start counting the presidential votes first before they move down to the member of parliament, the governor, the representative of women in parliament, and even the member of county assembly. So for the president, they are saying that as soon as they get the results, they are kind of trying not to commit themselves to a specific time, but they are saying as soon as they get the total number of votes cast in the 290 stations, they'll give us the winner. But we have a problem now that we have 21 polling stations that have not yet even begun voting. Now we are looking at a situation where we might be getting the results in the morning hours around 10 or 11 in the morning tomorrow, not today or this night.
Wow. Will that be the first time that this happening, you know, in Kenyan elections?
It's not really the first time, because the other time the constitution was not yet changed. The constitution did not require that clause, did not have that clause of 50% plus one. Right now we have a 50% plus one, meaning you have to get 50% of the total votes cast plus a one, which gives you the clear majority to win. So you see, you can't get that if at all you don't have all the votes that have been cast for each and every station.
Okay.
The other times it had been only a simple majority and you have a winner.
Ah, I see. Well, finally, and very finally, Kevin, can you you told us you actually sent me a link to the results as they were trickling in. Can you round up on that with a bit of figures? Are you able to do that?
That figure is as it comes. You see, we had what we call the Kenya Integrated Electoral Management, the KIM. Now, this one, when the returning officer or the polling officer sends details, the results, the figures to the National Tallying Center, it goes directly to that link.
Okay.
So we are getting it real time the same way the National Tallying Center is getting that result real time.
Okay.
So we can't really put a specific figure or a round of figure to it, because as it is, we are not even at 1,000 polling station results which have come in.
Kevin, thank you so much for the good work you've been doing for us since yesterday, bringing us update from Kenya, all the way from Kenya, right there on the ground with us. Kevin Jabedu is with KTN, helping us with that report. Well, away from Kenya, let's go to South Africa. What we do know at the moment is that the vote counting is in progress, because President Jacob Zuma is facing a motion of no confidence as the members of parliament started voting a bit earlier in a secret ballot. Mr. Zuma has already survived 7 no confidence votes, which were all held publicly. But the opposition is hoping that some ANC MPs will side with them, as the vote is secret for the first time. The Parliament Speaker, Baleka Mbete, made the decision to hold the vote in secret on Monday after opposition parties took the case to the Constitutional Court in order for the no-confidence motion to pass. At least 50 out of the ANC's 249 MPs would need to vote against the president, leading to opposition parties pleading with the ANC MPs to vote with their conscience. You're still watching The Pulse. We're making attempts to reach a correspondent or a reporter in South Africa to bring us up to speed on what is happening at the moment. But you saw those visuals; those were live from South Africa. We'll take a very quick break. When we return, hopefully we'll have some. We would have made progress with who we're trying to reach on the ground. Please stay with us.